forward.
Moments ago, President Obama wrapped up his first solo news conference since April 30th. He touched on a number of topics, including the NSA, surveillance, privacy, Snowden, Putin, drone strikes, Obamacare, Republicans shutting down the government, Benghazi, the next Fed chair, immigration, and the Olympics. Here are some highlights.
I wanted to ask you about your evolution on the surveillance issues. Why should the public trust you on this issue?
Where we can prevent a terrorist attack, where we can get information ahead of time, that we're able to carry out that critical task.
Is he a patriot? You just used those words.
No, I don't think Mr. Snowden was a patriot.
Do you still believe that al-Qaeda has been decimated?
Al-Qaeda is on its heels, has been decimated. But what I also said was that al-Qaeda and other extremists have metastasized into regional groups that can pose significant dangers.
September 11th, we'll have the first anniversary of Benghazi. And you said on September 12th, make no mistake, we'll bring to justice the killers who attacked our people.
Yeah.
11 months later, where are they, sir?
I also said that we'd get bin Laden, and I didn't get him in 11 months.
All right, well, Bob, this is your shining moment. Please embrace it, enjoy it, make the most of it. You thought he did a good
sitting
job.
next to you?
Well, besides that.
I thought he did do a very good job. I think it's about time. It's very late. They were obviously very well scripted and rehearsed. I think he could have, I don't know, still Dana's thunder. I would not have jumped on the Republicans during that. But I think his NSA answers, despite the fact that it didn't convince me, or I hope doesn't convince Eric, that he does have a pretty good grip on what's going on with NSA, and Benghazi was a good answer.
Then what was good about it?
I know, Bob, that was a little weird. We gave you a moment, and I don't know what happened.
What the hell are you talking about?
But he just said he didn't convince you, and he hopefully didn't convince Eric, and he shouldn't have done the thing about the Republicans.
It's not that. I just don't like the NSA.
Okay, so now that we've gotten to the bottom of that, yes, Steve, welcome to the program.
Thank you very much.
I love the NSA.
Obviously, this is a Friday in the summer. You had to get somebody in this chair who got up yesterday.
I mean, literally.
I actually did almost get up yesterday. I'm on your side. I thought that it was great that the President of the United States addressed the NSA situation with this 4-point plan. But unfortunately, even though they're going to have this 4-point plan, the government is still going to hoover out millions and millions and trillions of our phone calls and our email, and this is just a placebo press conference so that it goes away in the summer.
One fast thing I want to say to you, the appropriation for the NSA came up on the House floor and only passed by 7 votes.
Right.
There's a building consensus to get away with these programs, do away with them.
All right, Bolling, we're waiting for your moment here. This is the Obama cold shower. Go ahead.
Notes. Took notes. I took pages and pages of notes. He went through his 4-point plan. I found it very interesting that twice he said we have to strike the proper balance between security and liberty. I think he said security and freedom at one of the 2 times. No, we don't. We just have to follow the Constitution and we'll be A-OK, sir. And he clearly is violating the Constitution. He also talked about Section 215 of the FISA Act. Now, that's a relevant section where they talk about data mining and what you're allowed to take. If you just read Section 215, President, it says any application must prove that it's being conducted without violating the First Amendment, wrong, and the rights of U.S. citizens. And the application can only, and it's highlighted, only be used to obtain foreign intelligence information not concerning U.S. citizens.
Sorry.
We're on board with this, right?
I just have some. Can we deduce from that you didn't like this question?
I'm simply saying he said one thing, but they're doing something completely different in the NSA and the DEA.
But he said it so well.
Well, Dana, talk about that. What do you think of his remarks? Did it come a little bit too late, or did he hit the right points? Because he certainly covered a lot of ground.
I think it was 3 weeks too late. I would have said that he should have done this press conference about 3 weeks ago, because when he said that all of these things in Washington were phony scandals, one of them that he was talking about was the NSA issue.
Sure.
I have defended the president on all of this, and I keep asking, like, could you help us defend you? He did something rhetorically today that he doesn't do often, which is he made very clear he's going to have 4-point plan, and he talked about the 4-point plan. It's just amazing to me that in the summer and August, when you have unemployment at what it is, the part-time jobs issue, and he wants to talk about the middle class, and he is talking about Section 215 of the Patriot Act.
Well, that's because
we are down way down in the weeds. Well, I think, again, he could have done it 3 weeks ago. I would have said that he should have done more about the middle class up at the top. I don't think that the announcement needed to be about this.
Can we also, Chuck Todd, before he got smacked around by the president a little bit, I was going to use a different term, but they suggested I not use it. Ask the right question. Ed Snowden, he said, Mr. President, it sounds like you would consider Ed Snowden more of a whistleblower now rather than a traitor. And President Obama said, no, he needs to come back and face his accusers. But then he goes through what a great program, the whistleblower program, and all the things he's done to make it stronger. Still, the head of James Clapper, the top dog, Snowden would have reported to, lied to
Can we reach a consensus here that this was too late? Some of these questions were not handled well, but a lot of them were handled finally reasonably well and gave people things they wanted to talk about. I don't agree with some of it. But
can I ask you something, though, that Kimberly or anybody else would... the president's remedy, that when he said that he's going to ask the Privacy and Civil Liberties Board to review, is that enough for critics? Is that going to
another review board?
Is that going to satisfy
sure,
anything?
Go ahead. Trust Washington.
No,
we're going to do that.
He hinted at that. I know because I watched Jay Leno, because that's where I go to hear the president speak.
You know, that's a week old.
It's really not. We just did it the other day. But anyway, the point is he was telegraphing that he was going to talk about that on there and say, well, if there's enough, safeguards in place, then it should be okay. You should trust us, trust the government to be able to protect you. I want the government to protect us. I want them to do it in the right way. I don't want them to abuse their authority or to overreach. But based on the way the program is set up right now, I don't believe that it violates constitutional principles.
Well, they have made a determination to do these programs in a way that, in fact, does violate the Constitution, but it's the choice between the Constitution or what they consider to be an potentially imminent attack on the United States. I know it's a tough line to walk, but when push comes to shove, when you fall back on one thing, you fall back on the Constitution.
He also mentioned in that speech that the NSA is not listening to phone conversations and not reading emails. They literally just yesterday told us they're reading the emails. When they have when certain buzzwords triggers a look, they read
with
the emails.
an email
Dana,
that's
do you
overseas.
see final thoughts on this?
No, on the press conference or on the NSA?
Just on this.
Oh, good.
No,
I'm
going to Obama.
Nothing. Pass.
Well, I was going to say, let's do the chronology. It was 3 weeks ago he started with the phony scandal business, and last week he was talking, 2 weeks ago, then last week he was talking a little bit about, okay, well, the White House came out. We've got this terror warning. We have used the NSA program, and we know now. And then they leaked a whole bunch of the secret stuff that they shouldn't have leaked. Like it's Ayman al-Zawahiri talking to this guy. They obviously put that out there to show, okay, a lot of you people know that we have the ability to listen to your phone calls because we record all the phone calls. And they sit in a Quonset hut someplace. But it works because we got this
Can
good
I take
data.
Will you yield back the balance of my time? I did want to say, anytime a president speaks, he has to speak to many different audiences all at once. One of the important audiences he was talking to today was the intelligence community itself, who would have watched this press conference with great interest, whereas I think the rest of America probably is on vacation. But he said that he supports them and he has confidence in them. That means a lot to them. I know you're breathing hard, but he's talking to them and he's saying, I have confidence in you and you will continue to be supported by me. Right. That's an important thing for the intelligence community to hear.
May I just throw this in there as well? I am so darn tired of President Obama hiding behind the Patriot Act. He keeps saying the Patriot Act, the Patriot Act. This is the Patriot Act on steroids, on human growth hormone.
You're for human growth hormone.
Yeah, we're gonna move on from this because my health is getting affected.
The Patriot Act was passed with certain parameters, and they're right here. We talked about them. This blows those parameters out of the water. I'm surprised the FISA court allows